Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shifty's 49ers Talk. In this video, we're going to go over the breaking news. The 49ers have traded running back Jeff Wilson Jr. to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 2023 fifth round pick. My instant reaction is coming right up. Just before the trade deadline, the 49ers were able to execute a trade, and it was involving a player who had been involved with some trade rumors through the last couple of days. And yes, that was Jeff Wilson Jr. was traded to the Miami Dolphins. So Jeff Wilson Jr. has been with the 49ers really since 2017, 2018, undrafted free agent out of North Texas. And overall, his career with the 49ers has been very, very solid. I want to say a huge shout out to Jeff Wilson Jr., great 49er, really, of course, outperformed where you expect from an undrafted free agent, and an excellent player, has a number of big time plays. I think we all remember probably his most famous play will be in 2019 at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Last 30 seconds of the game, Jimmy Garoppolo hits Jeff Wilson Jr. for a touchdown. Niners win the game. So again, huge shout out to Jeff Wilson Jr., a great 49er, and he'll always be welcome back at Levi's Stadium. Now, when we look at Miami, why did they execute this trade? Well, here's the thing. Miami, they have a very explosive offense. Tua, they have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki's playing very well, but running back, here's the thing too. Raheem Mostert, very good running back. Big fan of Raheem Mostert, but he's been known to get injured. We've seen it with the 49ers time and time again. So having some insurance for a guy like Raheem Mostert in a guy like Jeff Wilson Jr., who's now going to join Mike McDaniel's staff. And that's a big thing. And he's going to be joining, ex-49ers, Raheem Mostert, Trent Sherfield on offense. So it's going to be a seamless transition for him to go to Miami. And basically from day one, he'll be able to play. Excellent insurance behind Raheem Mostert. And I think he's really going to be able to spell Raheem Mostert, as part of a running back by committee. And they're getting a really quality guy, a quality player for, a fifth round pick. And he's still fairly young too. And because he hasn't been used a ton in his time in San Francisco, not a lot of wear on Jeff Wilson Jr.'s body. So he should have a number of good years ahead of him. So you look at the 49ers, well, he's a good player and, he's still relatively young. So why would you get rid of him? Well, here's the thing. Number one, we traded for Christian McCaffrey, and he is amazing. We saw what he did against the LA Rams. But if you look at the depth that the 49ers have at running back, Elijah Mitchell coming back from injury after the bye week, he was our leading rusher last year. Third round rookie this year, TDP. I think he's going to be someone that we see a lot more moving forward. We have our this year's undrafted free agent rookie running back, Jordan Mason. A lot of 49er fans, myself included, are excited about him. And then, of course, we have Tevin Coleman on the practice squad too. So, we have basically 5 running backs that we can look to and that we can go to. So, in terms of depth, I think it's a really good move. But, the one question that, of course, we're going to have is, well, you look and you say, oh, that depth is great. Now, we're going to use Christian McCaffrey in a lot of different ways. He's not going to be just a running back. We saw it. He's going to be, a receiver. He's going to split out wide a lot. So the depth behind him, Elijah Mitchell, really good player, been hurt quite a lot in his, year and a half in the NFL. TDP, a relative unknown, also been hurt. Jordan Mason, an absolute unknown. And then you look at Tevin Coleman, inconsistent. So there is a bit of a risk here. But overall, I think, the 49ers should have enough depth and quality depth to get through the season at running back. And I'm sure next year they'll probably draft a running back. Hopefully not in the third round, but maybe later, or pick up an undrafted free agent running back too, just to keep that depth at running back. But for the 49ers, what's the other reason why? Well, you traded a number of picks to get Christian McCaffrey, a second, a third, and a fourth. So you want to just get some draft capital back. And you get it in a round where it's the money round for the 49ers. You've drafted George Kittle, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. You're looking at 3 starters. I think, George Kittle, and a former All-Pro, Hufanga playing at a Pro Bowl level, Dre Greenlaw near Pro Bowl level. So overall, you have to be happy that you're getting another pick in that round and just accumulating draft picks. So that's really good for the 49ers too. And at the end of the day, look, Jeff Wilson Jr., really good player. He was an undrafted free agent, and we were able to turn that into a 5th-round pick. So that's always doing good business if you're the 49ers. Plus, I think coming back after the bye week, Jeff Wilson Jr. probably wasn't going to see the ball a ton, simply because they were going to get the ball in the hands of CMC and Elijah Mitchell, sparingly the other guys mentioned earlier. But overall, when I look at this, trade, I'm not going to do any grades or anything like that, but I really do think it's one of those win-win for both teams. The Dolphins get a guy familiar with their offensive system, and he's a really solid player, excellent depth for the Dolphins. And then you look at the 49ers, we already have good depth in our building, and we get another draft pick back, and something that we really needed, especially because we don't have a 1st or a 2nd in next year's draft. So really happy to see the 49ers get some draft capital. I'm going to wish Jeff Wilson Jr. the absolute best of luck in the future with Miami and then wherever he goes after that. And looking forward, it's going to be a really big time game when the Niners later this season are going to be hosting the Miami Dolphins. That's going to be a huge game in Levi's Stadium. Of course, Mostert, Sherfield, and now Jeff Wilson Jr. are really going to want to prove the 49ers, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, the entire front office wrong. They're going to, of course, go out there to try and have a big game. That's going to be a fun one. But that's it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the Jeff Wilson Jr. trade. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the content, drop a like on the video. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to say 2 things. The butt counts. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side.